Hello, you guys. Thank you for continuing to work through this program. I know it's a lot. Hopefully you are learning a lot as well. So aura cleansing, when, sorry, I get distracted by my hair when I see it on the camera. I'm like, how do I fix this look? Anyway, back to the point. Okay, so today we're talking about affirmations, and affirmations are important when it comes to cleansing your aura, because we've already talked about getting rid of negativity, and we doing some work to really get rid of negative thoughts and negative things in our life that bring on a dark or blocked aura. And so if we get rid of things, we actually have to fill that open space. There's an open space left. And if we leave it open after we get rid of the negativity, it just leaves room for that negativity to come back. Okay. So we want to put positive things back in our aura, back in our minds, back in our life. And so positive affirmations are a wonderful thing to do that. Our auras are really, that light that vibrates away from us, it's actually pulling things in. It's like a magnet, and it's pulling things in. And so if we can put positive affirmations in our aura, in our mind, in our life, then it's actually going to help us pull in the things that we want. Okay. So a lot of the times positive affirmations are like speaking into existence what we want. So I'm going to go share my screen so we can get going here. Where did it go? I believe this is it. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. Affirmations. So I already talked about, why we do affirmations in the aura cleansing program, but this course is all about how we actually use and create affirmations properly and effectively. Okay. So, first of all, affirmations are whatever you need to affirm to yourself in order to believe a new belief. So often we will believe like, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'm not good at that. And so a positive affirmation would be like, I need to believe that I am worthy and I am really good at X, Y, and Z. And so being able to say, I am worthy, I am good, I am a good mother, I am a good sister, friend, I'm a good employee. Obviously we can go into more detail in our affirmations, but I'm just trying to be very vague here, that we kind of affirm a new belief in an affirmation. And then it's something that we can speak, write, or think into existence. Okay. And then it's always stated in an already done language. So we're going to speak it as if it's already happened. So instead of saying, I want to be worthy, or one day I'll be worthy, we say, I am, because it's already happening. I'm already worthy. So I am, I have. You don't have to always use those exact I am or I have, but the point that I'm trying to make is that you're saying it, that it's already happening. You're not saying I will be worthy, So then how we use our affirmations, it's really important to remember that our subconscious mind filters our reality according to what's important to us. Okay. So there's this thing called the RAS, reticular activating system. And that's a part in our brain that's about, I don't have a pencil, but about the width of a pen or pencil, right? Not very big, but it's a part in our brain that acts as the gatekeeper to the thalamus. The thalamus is like what we pay attention to, right? And so the RAS, I keep on wanting to just hold up a pencil to show you, get in my drawer here. The RAS is a small section of the brain before the thalamus that acts as the gatekeeper. It makes sure that we only pay attention and we only process things that are important and relevant to us. Okay. So that's why, when you were a kid, maybe you didn't wake up to an alarm clock because that wasn't important to you. You had no reason to wake up to an alarm clock. an alarm clock, or even if you knew you were supposed to get up for school and so you set an alarm, it was really hard for you to get up because it wasn't that relevant to you, okay? Or as an adult, maybe you guys have bought a car, and before you bought that car, you saw it on the lot and you're like, this is such a unique car. I don't see this car anywhere. I'm going to be the only one there. When I go to the grocery store, I'll always know it's my car because I never see this car. It'll be so unique. You know, maybe it's the color or the brand or whatever, or the make. And then as soon as you buy the car, you start noticing everybody has that car. You start seeing that car everywhere. And you're walking in and thinking that all these different cars are yours because there's so many out there that look the same. That is because those cars have always been there. You've been driving past them and seeing them for a long time, but you didn't, your RAS, your reticular activating system, blocked it out because it wasn't relevant. It wasn't important. And so our reality filters through our RAS, okay? Our reality is based off of what that reticular activating system decides to let in. So that's why two people can be in the same situation, watch the same movie or watch the same event happen. Maybe sometimes when like an accident happens, two people could be watching the same thing and tell a different story. And that's because our reality really does differ based on what our brain thinks is important. So affirmations filter through that RAS. So that if we decide, I really do want to feel worthy, then we start saying that affirmation over and over and over, our RAS will then think it's important and it will start paying attention. It'll start finding things in the world to prove that you are worthy. That makes sense. So the RAS is a very, very key part of manifesting good into your life and the whole reason we do affirmations, okay? Now, ways we can use our affirmations. You can repeat them silently to yourself throughout the day. I like to try and say my affirmations 10 times each. So I am worthy, 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 I am worthy. Keep saying it 10 times. Or you can, today for your homework, we're going to make a list of affirmations, 10 or 15 different affirmations. And so you can say the whole list and then start over. Okay? But we really want to ingrain it into our minds. So the more times you say it, the better, but try and do it at least 10 times. And then repeating them out loud in the power pose. Okay, I'm going to step back. Hopefully my computer camera can show you this. But the power pose is like the Wonder Woman pose. So you're going to be hands on your shoulder, hands on your hips, or you can have them down by your side, but they're kind of like out away from your body because we're not shielding ourselves. We're powerful. And legs are spread, shoulder width apart, so that we have a nice strong base. And then chest is up, head and chin are up, shoulders are back, abs are tight, and you're just powerful, okay? That is the Wonder Woman pose or the power pose. When we stand in that pose, it's actually been proven that when we stand in that pose, hormones are released that give us more confidence, that make us feel really powerful. And so if we say our affirmations in that pose, it just makes us more confident in what we're saying. And it really kind of sinks that into our head that this is important and I am capable of believing these things, okay? Another thing you can do is to write them down in your journal as daily reminders. A thing that I love to do is visualize them before you go to bed. So if you have a hard time falling asleep, this is a great way to use your affirmations. Just before you fall asleep, go through each affirmation and visualize it. Think about, how it will be when you are worthy. What will it look like? What will it sound like? What will it smell like? How will you feel? Really imagine and visualize with all the different senses, not just the 5 senses, include your feelings and your emotions in there, so that it feels real as you're laying there before you fall asleep. Okay. Another thing you can do is use them as a mantra when you're doing meditation or breath work. By now, you've done one breathwork session. You kind of got a feel for it. We will do more, but imagine one of the times the next time we will use our affirmations and just saying them over and over like a mantra as we're doing our breath work helps lock it in, and you'll be amazed at what happens because that DMT is released. So you are in a very, what's the word? It's kind of like hypnosis, but not hypnosis, but you're in a very subjective state where what you put in is so important. And that's why it's really important when we're doing breath work to keep the music positive, even if it's talking about the releasing, but so we're going to just have no music, no words to our music. And we're just saying those meditations over and over and over as a mantra. And you can do it during meditation as well. Then another thing is you can put them into subliminal recordings. So if you don't know what a subliminal recording is, there's apps and computer programs that you can do this at home, but you basically pick some music, most of the time music without words, but pick some music that you would like to listen to at home or on your drive or things like that. And then the app will let you then say your affirmations into the microphone as well and get it recorded. And the music plays loud so you can hear the music, and then they turn down the volume of the subliminal message or the affirmation. And so you actually can't like audibly hear the words being said, but it's still going in on another level that you just don't, it's like on a subconscious level instead of a conscious level. And some of you might think that like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That's weird. That's a woo-woo. I don't believe it because I can't hear it. It's not going to help me. But the manifestation course that I just did, 6-month course, and I absolutely loved it. We learned how to do subliminal messages. And I did 3 months of listening to that course facilitator. She made some. So I haven't made my own yet, but I listened to hers for 3 months, and I knew before what's going into it. You don't want to just like go on YouTube and just do someone else's subliminal messages, because I don't fully trust what they're saying. Like there's been reports of people feeling worse after doing subliminal messages off YouTube. I'm sure there's a million great ones too, but it's just, you don't quite know. Make sure it's someone you really trust, right? So the ones I did were from this course, and I really trust her. And I literally felt a shift every single day that I would do them. I would feel a major shift in my day. I was happier. I felt more confident. I was getting more things done. I felt more in alignment to like my real purpose. And then I look at what she's actually saying. I'm like, that's exactly what she's saying. And that's what I'm feeling. So I am a believer. I think it's a great way to use your affirmations. And you can just download apps to do that. And I'm not going to give you specific ones because I'm not linked to any, So anyway, then there are other apps, even if it's just on your phone, you have like your voice notes, or there's different ways you can record things, even just on your video, but you can record yourself saying your affirmations over and over. Maybe say it 3 times through, and record it, and then just listen back to it while you're driving or while you're doing the dishes or folding laundry or working. If there's something that you can have background things going on, have your affirmations playing back in your own voice. Our subconscious hears our own voice, and that Raz thinks it's more important than someone else's voice. So doing your subliminals in your own voice and just repeating, recording your affirmations in your own voice is by far the best way. The second best way is having someone else's voice. But okay, so those are some ideas. If you can think of any other ideas to use your affirmations, post them up on your mirror, however else you want to do it, I'm all for it. the more you see them, write them, think them, the better. Okay, so we're going to move on to how to make your own affirmations. And I really love to start out with thinking of like, okay, what do I want my life to be like? Because a positive affirmation is we're trying to shift a belief. We're trying to make a change. It wouldn't be a positive affirmation. It would be a negative affirmation if we were saying something that we don't want in our life, right? Or saying something about the way life is now. It's not really positive. It's neutral. Does that make sense? So to be able to have it be a positive affirmation, it's got to be something that you want more of in your life, or that you think is really cool and would like to emulate it or be more like or have more in your life. And so the best place to start is to think of what you want your reality to be like. And so we do this by imagining your dream life. Like, what would your dream life be? How would you want it to be? What would it be like? What would you do? How would you feel? And then you can look at things that, like, financially, relationship wise, media wise, what habits would you have? What boundaries would you have? What kind of self-love would you have? What feelings would you feel every day? What would your environment around you be like? Okay, so we're going to just think about what your dream life would be like. Now, I have to make a very big point here. I want you to go deep on this one, because it's really easy to just spit out what you think other people want your dream life to be like. And I did that for years. I thought my dream life was what my mom and church and just like the local society wanted or talked about what a dream life would be like. So it was having a big fancy house and lots of kids and making yummy meals for my kids and volunteering at school and, like the whole white picket fence idea of life. And turns out that actually isn't my dream life. I lived it and I loved it during the time, but I never felt authentic. I never felt truly me. And it turns out my dream life comes with a lot of freedom. I want a lot of freedom to do what I want and go where I want when I want. And so being tied down to big house payments and big car payments, and being tied down to the idea that I have to make a big fancy meal every night, and all that goes along with that. I'm just going to give you more examples, but I think you get the point. For me, that actually just felt like a lot of pressure. And so I like having a small house with small payments. I like not having a big car payment so that I can work less and be with my children and play more with my children, or go on adventures more and see the world more. So that is different for everyone. Every single person has a different idea based on who they are and what excites them. So really dig in and really think about what excites you. Don't create a dream life that isn't aligning with who you are at your core. Okay. So after you maybe thought and really journaled about what you want your life to be like and what feelings you want, then you make some rules to help you get there. Rules that you will know that you'll no longer accept the life you don't want. And so it's like, if I want the dream life, then I'm going to have these rules that will make sure I get my dream life. Okay. So for some ideas are, from now on, I only listen to music that is uplifting, because in my dream life, I want to have positive words and positive emotions around me. Okay. So I only listen to uplifting music. I only spend time with people who are nice to me. I don't spend time with people who are, condescending or critical of me. And from now on, I always keep $1,000 in my bank account, because I want that freedom to go when I want to go. I can't have lack of money stopping me. Okay. So it's like, I have to have the money there. So if on a whim, I'm like, I really want to go on an adventure, or I really want to take my kids to the jump park or to go get ice cream, just that freedom of like, whatever. I make choices during the day or the rest of the month to make sure I always have that money in my bank account, which seems obvious to a lot of people, right? But sometimes we spend money on other things that aren't as, leading to our other rules and freedoms. So, and then from now on, I have a self-care appointment every month. From now on, my body works effortlessly and is in healthy balance. Okay. So you can make a million different rules and just make sure you kind of adapt them from what you want your dream life to be. Okay. So once you've made your rules, you then just use those rules to create your affirmations. So you just switch the words around. Instead of saying, like, I'll go back, instead of saying from now on, I listen to music that is uplifting, you say, I always listen to beautiful, uplifting music. Or instead of saying from now on, I only spend time with people who are nice to me, I can say, the people I'm surrounded with are beautiful and kind to me, or are loving and kind to me. Does that make sense? So it's talking about it in the now, but we're shifting our rules into just a different wording where it's more positive and not like a goal or a rule. Okay, so examples would be, my success is inevitable, but oh my gosh, I can't talk. My success is inevitable, and I am always on the right path. Or every single day in my life is one big gift and that I find gratitude for. Or money is an infinite resource and is always flowing my way. And with that one where I said, from now on, I always have $1,000 in my account. I really haven't had to make a lot of shifts and choices to make sure that happens. It's just, I made up the rule. I started saying the affirmations and my account always seems to have the money. So it's that aura is a magnet, like I said. So when we start saying the positive affirmations that we want in our life, we magnetize things. So I haven't had to make a big shift in my habits, but I get more, customers or more jobs or whatever, and just the money is always there. So the beauty of having a bright, vibrant aura is it pulls in what we are trying to affirm in our lives. Okay, so when we do our custom affirmations, we want to use our desired identity. So we've already talked about our desired life, but we have to be the person that, can survive in that new life. That, if I want my dream life, who do I have to be to have that dream life? Okay. So we can look at, who we are, not just what we want. So I am wildly successful. I am calm. I am a successful author. I find joy and pleasure in simple things of life. I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur, or I'm a real estate star, or I'm an incredible mother, father, parent. Okay. So we look at the identity of who we want to be, even if we're not there yet. Okay. We don't have to say where we are right now. It's that dream life that you want and who you would need to be to have that dream life. Okay. And then we write some custom affirmations from there as well. And when we're creating those custom affirmations, we want to use any beliefs that we want to program into our mind. So, like I said, I want to believe that I'm worthy. So I am worthy. If there's any beliefs that you're struggling with, we want to use that in our affirmations as well. So in order for me to live my dream life, what must I believe to be true? So we've talked about what, we can do our affirmations from what we want our dream life to be like, who we would need to be for that, to have that dream life, and what we would need to believe. Okay. So those are the 3 areas we pull from when we're making our custom affirmations. Okay. Then once we so let's say we've done that. We've made our rules of reality. We've looked at our beliefs. We've looked at our identity, and we've made 10 to 15 affirmations that we are going to start saying to ourselves. Well, what happens is when you start saying them to yourself and you're like, ooh, this one's hard for me to say. One of them feels a little hard. Like, I don't know if I really am worthy. It's really hard for me to say I'm worthy. Or one that was hard for me, I used to get a lot of stomach pain and I had a lot of inflammation in my body, and I was just always carrying extra weight. Not that I don't carry extra weight now, but it's better than it was, right? So when I first started doing affirmations about my body, it was hard for me to say, like, I am healthy, but I'm not. Like, my stomach always hurts. So there's something wrong there. And so instead of, or saying like, my metabolism works quickly and effectively, I'm like, it doesn't. I swear I gain a pound for every bite I take. And so my brain fought against that affirmation. And so if I would have left it as my metabolism works quickly and effectively, my critical faculty, that's what it's called. The critical faculty is a part of your brain that kind of criticizes, right? Or like judges things that go on. And so my critical faculty would jump on real quick and say, that's not true. And so then I would be stuck with the negativity, and then the affirmation wouldn't work, because it's like I was almost affirming the negativity instead of what I wanted because of that critical faculty, right? So because of that, we need to fix anything that feels uncomfortable. If there's something that you're like, oh, I don't believe it. I want to believe it, but I don't believe it. We use bridge beliefs. Okay. So a bridge belief is something that kind of turns your critical faculty down so it doesn't immediately reject what you're trying to program into your subconscious mind. So we basically work in steps. I'm going to teach you about the ladder of believability, but it's basically changing it to say, I'm in the process of believing that my metabolism works quickly and effectively. Okay, do you hear what that happened there? Instead of saying my metabolism works quickly and effectively, I say I'm in the process of believing that my metabolism works quickly and effectively, because that's true. I am in the process of that. I'm working towards believing that my metabolism is quick. Or I am willing to believe that my metabolism works quickly and effectively. Just the willingness to believe it. My critical faculty doesn't chirp in and say, no, it's not. No, that's not true. Like, it's like, no, you're right. We'll leave that one alone. I am willing to believe that. So we just keep practicing on bringing it down to a level that feels okay for us and doesn't feel so like untrue. And we just keep working with that belief, at that level. So the ladder of believability, so let's say, this is kind of a similar one, but let's say the goal affirmation that you very first wrote was, I have perfect health and tons of energy. My hormones are in complete balance. My sex drive is on fire. I wake up feeling amazing every single day. Okay. It's like, you're just feeling amazing, but that's not true. If we go down to the bottom of the ladder, our starting point is actually, I have the willingness to believe that I can be perfectly healthy. And one day soon, I will look back and think to myself, I did it. Okay. So we can bring it down to a level that feels comfortable for us. And we work on saying that one for a week or 2 or 3 or 4, until it feels very, very comfortable. Then we step it up one rung of the ladder to the next level on this ladder is, I have the ability to heal my body using the power of mind. Say, okay, I can say that. So we say, I have the ability to heal my body using the power of mind for a few weeks. And then once we're comfortable with that, we go up to the next ladder of believability, or the next rung on that ladder. I am worthy of receiving perfect divine health now. I am worthy of receiving perfect divine health now. And so then we say that one till we're comfortable. And then, the next rung up, my body is already in the process of healing, and I am getting healthier and healthier as each day passes. Okay, we say that one for a few weeks until we get up to that final one. We don't have to be in perfect health to be able to say the final affirmation. It's all about up here. At what level can we say it without feeling something uncomfortable inside of us, without something saying that's not true? Okay. If you have any questions on as you're making your affirmations and you're like, oh, I need help making this one feel more comfortable, where should I put it on the ladder? Message me. I am here for you. This is why we're doing this together. Let me help you find an affirmation that fits. Okay. All right, so that is the basics of how to do your affirmations. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to message me. I'm going to recap the steps and then I'll let you loose to do your homework. So first step is think about your dream life. How would it be? What would you do? How would you feel? Think about all different areas of your life, your environment, your relationships, your financial, your work, your play, your health, your living situations, your beliefs, your feelings, and your moods. Okay. And then, oops, I also forgot to put in here. Will it let me? Oh, it won't let me while I'm in slideshow, but also I'm going to add into there your identity. Okay. Think about all those different areas and write 10 or 15 different affirmations about what you want it to be like. And then you make your rules of reality from that, which is step number 2. And then you rewrite that into the positive, already happening language. Okay. You make sure you're saying it's already happening. I already am doing it. It's not that I will do it. And then you use your bridge beliefs. If there's anything that doesn't feel uncomfortable, we step it down to something that is more believable for you. And then you finalize those affirmations and decide how you're going to use them. Are you going to write them down? Are you going to play them back for yourself? Are you going to do it during breath work and meditation? How are you going to use it? And I recommend using multiple different ways. Okay. Don't just stick with one. It's nice to find one that you can do daily and make it part of your routine, but then use it in different ways. When you have time, write them down. When you, if maybe one night you're having a hard time falling asleep, say your affirmations or visualize them. Anytime we do our breath work, use them as a mantra. Okay. Okay. You get the point. Now your homework is to just do 10 or 15 affirmations using the steps that we just talked about in the last slide. And then I want you to start using them daily. And then please, please, please send me any questions you have. And I would definitely love to see some of your affirmations just so I know that you're doing it right and that you understand that what I just taught. And also to just keep you accountable. Okay. I want to make sure that you guys are not flaking off on this course. You signed up for a reason, and I want to help you get to the end so that you can feel better. Okay. All right. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so, so, so much for being here. And we will see you in a few days on the next lesson.